How are we, lads? Welcome back to another episode of Finn's Farm Life. So it is Saturday. We are making up a mix in between the showers. In fairness, now the weather has improved. We had an awful dose of weather this morning. I went off trying to do a bit of video and it went badly wrong. I got absolutely soaked, and yeah, but it's starting to dry up now again, thank be to God. But I'm making up the mix here now at the minute, so mixing away. So I'll fire away here now, and I'll bring you along with me. Straw going in now at the minute, probably a quarter of a square bale, just up the fibre, but it ain't good and slow into the Keenan. I am not blowing bearings today. Nicely. Lovely. Come on. Now. Have that chop. We'll head over here and get the Ornegold slash beet pulp nuts. The last very little bit of it, and then that'll be it in for a while. We don't know, we're probably going to get some of it back at a later date, but the cows are gone past their peak now, so we're thinking now that we might just do kind of a maintenance mix for the next while, just to keep them in good condition, kind of keep the milk at a decent rate. But we don't want to be pumping a big pile of feed into them if we're not going to be getting the return. When you're feeding stuff like this, like, you want to be getting a good decent return out of it. Like, the wall is not solid, so take it back a bit. Now you go. Not too bad, not too bad. I'm just going to clean that corner there now, just to make sure it's all good and tidied up. I'll be back to you in a minute, because I can't find my stand for this. Cannot find my stand for this camera. I don't know where it's gone, so I'll be back to you shortly. Right, throw away most of what was left behind. There's a lot of kind of mold sitting inside it, just inside and tucked to the corner. So rid of that. We threw in the toxin binder, we'll throw this in now, and then all is in whole crop silage and horse it out. That is it. So a few updates on the shed as well. I'll give them to you there in a while as well. So 500 kilos of Orna Gold, fodder beet and beet pulp nuts. So silage and whole crop is in here. So we're starting to get through this a bit quicker now because we're starting to eat the silage off the top of it. Because we're going to be closing the pit outside for second cut in a few weeks' time. So this wrapped up, and I'll see if I can find this tripod. I should have it here somewhere around the yard. If I do, we'll get a good video there of feeding it out. So I'll just throw in the last few buckets there. It'll only take me a couple of minutes, and we'll go feeding it in. No, not too bad. Ran out a bit quicker than I thought, but not too bad, to be quite honest. But the only development we have at the minute is we've started putting down, we're nearly finished putting down the pads for the beams. So they went in, some of these went in about a week ago, some of them went in yesterday. We done a shot of them yesterday over there. Sorry, this thing's gone a bit haywire now. So those are obviously carrying on the beams here to here to here to here to here, down along, if you know what I mean. So, and then out here then is the foundation for a wall, so that still needs to be poured. So that we just did a bit extra there yesterday, so we threw it in here, but that is to be poured. That's carrying on this wall here. Started doing the yard as well. Oh, for God's sake, camera, you cop on the yard. So has to go up a fair distance, like it's coming in line with that. So in time we might end up extending them slabs down along, and then having just maybe doing 3 narrow long pits there instead, because obviously a pit face like the one over there isn't ideal if you're not using a massive amount of silage. We do use a lot of silage, but not in the rate that you're going to be, say, basically wiping that full face of the pit. So we'd rather be moving it every day, essentially. So, and then these are the pads we done yesterday. Then, so we done one there. That's the foundation of a wall. That's a beam as well, and a bit of a wall. So there's going to be, you kind of start to see the shape of it now. So these are the beams going here. So that's there, running along there is your feed barrier. There's your beams going between, your feed barriers obviously in between them, all locking barriers. That's going to be coming down here. I don't know if we're going blocking this off. I'd say we probably are. In my opinion, we probably shouldn't, because we put cows out there this year, so it might be handy to actually have that open, but we'll see. Might be just, handy to get access to it, but sure, if it's the same as that, sure, there's no harm. Or even if we had this gate, this last feeding barrier, if we had that as on a hinge or something that you could open it. But yeah, so there's your wall coming out, your cubicles will follow out there. So there's going to be 1 along this wall here, 2 there, then you have another feed barrier. Your feed passage is going to be where it is now, coming out to here. So that's going to carry on out to here. I think they're going putting something down basically to cover the slats, obviously, like, because you don't want to be putting, you're obviously not going to be putting silage down the slats. So like same as there, like you can see on left and right of that feed passage, the very end of it, there's slats underneath it. So they'll do the same thing here, they'll put a road over this, so the concrete over it. And then across the passage, then you have your feed passage, 2 rows of cubicles, another row of cubicles, and then you have your exit chute coming down along here where it is now. So that's going to just be extending as it is inside. So that'll be coming down here. So your cubicles are going to end there. I don't know what way we're going to be doing, if we're going to just have it come down and go out, or what we're going to do. That's to be decided later, but that's going to be a wall here, and your wall going in between, and then feed barriers down to the end. Collecting yard is going where it is. So the collecting yard as it is now is going to be the size of it when it's complete, and then obviously more exit chute. This is still all going to be feed barriers going down along here, and we're going to have an extra 3 calving pins where each of them slats is. So there's 3 more calving pins going in there. We were thinking of putting concrete over them, but we're thinking of actually just leaving them, because the one inside the door, we've it bedded down, it's straw on top of slats, and it is the driest bedding we ever had. And we've calves and everything, like all we done was just took the sheets off the square bale and laid it down. Worked perfect. And then obviously we were coming around here. So this here now is going to be the end of the shed, and your wall is going to be running down along these, and there's your feed passage at the end. We needed a fair bit of a swing coming out, because you're going to be coming out from there, swinging into here and down, say like swing in, reverse back and drive up and feed along there. So we are going to need a fair swing to come around it. But yeah, it's going to be a good lumpfish shed when it's done. So we'll see now when things progress. But it's you can kind of see the shape of it now, if you know what I mean. Like, you know, it was hard to kind of see where it was going to end before them pads went in. Like, now it's kind of starting to shape up a small bit. But yeah, that's that. I'm trying to think now. I'd say I'll probably be only going milking now shortly. I'll just check the time. 2 o'clock. We'll be milking in about an hour and a half, I'd say. Well, Jack's going milking. I have to go home and do a milking at home. So I just might have to set up a few wires, and then tomorrow I'll probably do a grass walk, and then we'll try and keep it nice and handy of a Sunday. But we'll see. We might push that out to Monday. We'll see what way the weather is. But yeah, we will leave this video here. Thank you all for watching. New videos weekly. Like, subscribe, do all the good things, and I will talk to you in the next one.